All right, so look, if you black or if you got melanin and you are trying to navigate through this world, you're not just dealing with your own personal problems or your own personal limitations. You are living through a global system, a global matrix that is opposed to your existence. You are living through a matrix that was built on colonization. It was built on slavery. It was built on economic suppression. It was built on the erasing of your culture. And it is built on psychological warfare. Now, this matrix, this system of white supremacy seems real because of its impact. But the truth is, its power only lies in the fact that people believe in it. Its power lies in the fact that the programming is so deep that so many people have been mentally programmed and accept the illusion as truth. It makes the matrix seem like it's real, but it's not. And at some point, you're going to have to stop thinking of the system of white supremacy as a physical thing. You have to think about it as a mental thing. In fact, more specifically, it's more like mental software. It's a program for your mind, and it is installed over generations. You know what I mean? It didn't just start. This programming started hundreds of years ago, and it was reinforced through trauma, through violence, through the school systems, through propaganda. You know what I'm saying? And this programming gets you, as a melanated person, to believe that you are inferior, that you must work twice as hard for half the respect, that you are a criminal, that you are dangerous, that somehow you are less beautiful or less intelligent, that your history begins with slavery, that you'll never escape the hood, and that you'll need validation from their system. This matrix gets you to believe and accept all those things as part of your programming, as a melanated person trying to exist in this framework. Those are the spoons, the illusions that become cages when we believe in them. But the truth is, there is no spoon. There is no permanent oppression in the soul. In the Matrix, when Neo realized there is no spoon, he realized that I am not bound by the rules of this false world. When you, as a melanated person, awaken to this same truth, there is no spoon, then you will realize, and your self-talk will change into, I am not my trauma. I am not their story about me. I am not a statistic, and I am not their fear of me. I am the original being, and I am divine awareness wearing skin. And that is not delusion, that is your ancestral memory returning. See, in the awakening, you realize you were never the slave, and that you were always the son. Before the spoon, before the chains, before the trauma, there was you. The builders of pyramids, the keepers of divine science, the masters of rhythm, movement, mathematics, and spirit, the origin of language and the soul. You see, the spoon is the false identity that was given to you by a system that fears your power. When you realize there is no spoon, then you stop trying to fit into this matrix, and you begin to create from a deeper truth, from a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. So the revolution does begin within. It must begin as a mental and spiritual process before it manifests in the physical. And yes, let's be clear, this system, this matrix does need to be dismantled in the physical, in the real world. That does need to happen. However, that will not happen until melanated people are decolonized in our minds, or else even if this system does collapse, we will inadvertently rebuild the same thing that we were trying to get away from. You see, when you awaken to the truth that you are the observer and not the identity imposed upon you, that you are awareness, then you will begin to move as sovereignty. The consciousness becomes revolution. And using this understanding, using this insight, can help you. You can use this knowledge and insight of there is no spoon to heal yourself and rise and awaken your spirit from within. When you hear your inner voice say things like, oh, I'm not enough. Oh, I'll never get out. I ain't gonna never make it out the hood. They got us trapped. You have to stop and ask yourself, whose voice is that? Is that my own? Or is that the programming from the Matrix? Is that the voice of the colonizer in my brain? You really have to stop and ask yourself these questions. You have to expose the spoon, and you have to return to your state as being the observer. You have to go beneath race. You have to go beneath identity. You have to go beneath your fears, and you have to go beneath the survival mode. And you have to shift your presence or your energy or your focus to the silent presence within yourself. And you have to realize, I am the one who sees, the watcher, the sun behind the skin. And in that process, you can start to begin to reclaim your ancestral memory. Because when you start to study history, when you start to study Black history in particular, or the history of melanated peoples, when you start to study the sun, moon, and stars, and all the systems related to that, when you start to study science and spirituality, not just as some pride, or not just to be smarter, or not just to boost up the ego, but to prove and validate to yourself that there is no spoon. Once you do all that, then you realize that you don't have to become powerful. You already are. So the moral of the story is, there is a matrix, but you are bigger than it. You are more than it. The matrix is not more than what you are. And although these lies are deeply embedded into this society, and it may seem like truth, you have to realize that you are not the product of oppression. You are the soul that sees it. You are the awareness underneath. And once you know that, you can no longer be controlled. You can no longer be defined. You can no longer be owned. And just like Neo in the movie The Matrix, you wake up and you begin to bend the system with your mind. Not because you fought the spoon or you used your almighty power and force against the spoon. It's because you finally understand and accept the truth that there is no spoon, and that it is not the spoon that bends. It is only yourself.